Oh, people, the campfire. Hi, mind if I join you guys?
Oh, sure, no problem. We were just, gonna show off our talent.
Oh, I'd love to watch. Chris is on it, by the way. Ereneta.
Join it. My name is Tim Ereneta, and I have a story for you from Iceland. One thing you should know about Iceland. They're justly proud of their trolls, their witches, and their ghosts. And this is a story about them. Once upon a time, a long time ago, in the far north of Iceland, there was a young woman named Gudrun. She was so excited she was going to get married in the new year. She was engaged to the deacon who lived across the valley in Irka. And he had come, ridden his horse across the river. There was joining her early December to talk about wedding plans for the new year. But soon it was time for him to leave. And he promised he would be back on Christmas Eve so that they could ride together to the church and attend Mass. But when he got on his gray horse backseat and went back across the river, there had been unseasonably warm weather. The ice that had carried him across before was breaking up. And he had to travel quite a ways to find an ice bridge. And when he and his horse were halfway across the river, the ice snapped. Rider and horse fell into the water and were carried away. The next morning, a neighbor found Faxi, the horse, shivering and cold by itself in the meadow. And fearing the worst, the farmer ran down to the river, and sure enough, there was the body of the deacon, drowned in a large piece of ice that smashed into him, taking off part of his scalp. It was a gruesome sight that took him back to America to be buried in the churchyard. But it was still unseasonably warm for December. The river never froze over again, so news never got back to poor Gudrun. And she waited for Christmas Eve. And that afternoon there was a knock on her door. And when the serving girl entered it, there was no one there. But a knock came again, and this time Gudrun raced down the stairs, threw on her coat, just one sleeve in, threw the other one around. It's my fiancé. And she opened the door, and there in the distance, she could see Faxi, the horse with the rider next to it. And she ran outside without saying a word. She was boosted up onto the horse. The rider got in the saddle in front of her, and off they went toward the river Horga. And by this time, Christmas Eve, the river had frozen almost all the way across. So Faxi, with a mighty leap, leapt over the middle of the river, landed on the ice on the other side. But in doing so, the rider's hat fell off. And Gudrun looked up and saw the gleaming white bone of the rider's skull. And for the first time, the rider spoke, saying, "The moon is bright. Dark is the night. What do you see on my head that is white?" Gudrun was so terrified she couldn't say anything, and she rode in silence till they got to the churchyard near her. And she got off the horse, and she was prepared to run, but he grabbed her. And then she turned and saw there next to the church an open grave with her fiancé's name on it. And it was only then she realized that the ghost was trying to pull her into the grave. She pulled and tugged as hard as she could, and thankfully her coat was not all the way on, and the ghost grabbed the coat and fell into the grave, and the dirt filled it in from both sides. And Gudrun rang the bell there at the gate to the cemetery, and the people came out and took her inside the church. And there she stayed all Christmas Eve. And the next day, her fiancé came again to take her back to Christmas. And the day after that, and the day after that, and the day after that, and the day after that. The priest tried to do an exorcism, but it was no good. He would not stay in his grave. And finally, they had to go get one of the old-timers who knew the ancient words, and he came and put a great boulder over the grave and sang a spell in the ancient language, and the deacon was never heard from again. But if you go to Iceland and you're visiting the Eyjafjallajökull up the north part, near the city of Ayuveri, doing some fly fishing in the river Horga, you can still see that stone. It's there to this day. If you don't believe me, there are several Icelandic tourist sites that have this story. And that's the story of the deer